powers must act together because if we're not at the table, we're on the menu.
Somewhere Europe has to grow out of the mindset that Europe's problems are the world's problems, but the world's problems are not Europe's problems.
चुन चुन करके हिसाब लेना ये मेरी फितरत है.
Why should it be a problem if I'm smart enough to have multiple options? You should be admiring me.
भारत झुकने वाला भी नहीं.
The rise of India will be determined by India. It will be determined by our strength, not by the mistakes of others.
The old order is not coming back. We shouldn't mourn it. Nostalgia is not a strategy.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Now, how India is securing the uranium choke point for its nuclear future? What? Yes. See, the fourth industrial revolution is driving the electricity demand to levels grid was never designed to handle. Artificial intelligence, manufacturing, data centers, everything runs on power. It's so much in demand right now. The energy demand is so high right now that there are companies like SpaceX who are actually planning to take their data centers in the space. And at this point, at least right now, until that happens, the nuclear is the only scalable base load solution. And that makes uranium, its fuel, a strategic infrastructure. Because uranium is no longer just a commodity, it becomes a choke point. Now, there's another interesting thing that you should know, that global uranium supply is concentrated in just handful of countries. Okay, it's not widely available all over the place. Okay, Kazakhstan, Canada, Namibia, and Niger. Maybe US, Australia, or some other countries may have little bit of uranium, but not that much. Okay, so and with all this going on, India is not untouched by it. It's not like India is not untouched. It is, India is being impacted by it too. Why? Because with rapidly growing industrial base and the manufacturing push, make in India, made in India, and all that good stuff, India's energy demand is rising really fast. And nuclear power is becoming non-negotiable for that expansion. So the plan is to scale nuclear capacity from 8,000 megawatts to 22,000 megawatts by 2031 to 2032. But with this whole thing, easier said than done, right? It's not that easy. There is a constraint to it. Constraint is that India's long-term goal is thorium. And thorium is not yet ready. You might have read the news about how the India reached the criticality in its fast breeder reactor in the stage 2. And any fast breeder reactor has 3 stages: stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. And I made a video about it too, so I'm going to post a link to it. Okay, so you can go watch it. And India reached the criticality in stage 2, and stage 3 it will be done, but it will take at least another, I would say, 10 years before it is in production. It is production ready. Okay, so because uranium is not ready yet, so until the fast breeder reactor scale and thorium enters production, India still needs uranium, and a lot of it, right? So that's why India secured a long-term supply from Cameco of Canada, a Canadian company. The deal was worth $2 billion. Now India is doubling down on this whole thing, that India is working on it, has signed a deal with Kazatomprom, the world's largest uranium producer. It's a Kazakhstan-based company. So India is securing its position inside what? Global uranium choke point, so that let's say someday Canada says that, okay, and because of US pressure, we cannot sell you uranium. Then India has other options. India can go and get the uranium from somebody else. Right now, India has only one or two suppliers. That is, one is Russia, then second one is your Cameco now, and then now the third one is the Kazakhstan Kazatomprom company, right? So this is what is going on. Now, if you want no BS breakdown of how global system actually works, hit like and subscribe, and let's break this down. Okay, so please bear with me. My voice is a little bit breaking because I'm sick. Okay, so let's get started. Let's get going, guys. Please do like and subscribe, and here we go. Now, India has now signed a $4 billion multi-year uranium supply deal with Kazatomprom, controlling roughly 40% of global uranium production. That's how big the Kazatomprom is. And this is not just one-time purchase. This is long-term fuel lock-in. Okay. And of course, I mean, if you want uranium, then of course you have to trade with the world's largest company, largest supplier, largest producer, right? Now let's look at India's scale. Why India needs all these uranium deals? When you look at the scale, you find that India currently operates 22 nuclear reactors, which amounts to 8,180 megawatts. And on top of that, okay, 10 reactors are under construction. And 21 additional reactors, which will be 15,700 megawatts capacity, are planned by 2032. So that's how India is targeting this 22,480 megawatt requirement by 2031 to 2032, and likely more beyond that, which it will be. Okay, so this is the India's scale. Now you have to understand this. Okay, this is the scale. Now every scale has a bottleneck. You have to always identify the bottleneck to solve a problem. And the bottleneck is this. Bottleneck is that India produces only around 400 tons of uranium per year. So this is not just about what? And I mean, this is not, I would say, this is not just enough. There's not just enough fuel. Okay. There's not just enough fuel for what? Existing reactors under construction, future expansion, and all that. What everything combined, India just doesn't have enough uranium to feed to all these nuclear reactors. So imports are not optional in this case. They are structural. It is a necessity for India to meet that energy demand. So that's why India secured a long-term supply from Cameco, including the latest deal covering 2027 to 2035, that 22 million pounds Canadian, that was 2.6 billion Canadian dollar deal. Now add Kazakhstan to that thing. So Kazakhstan deal is going on too, which I talked about earlier. So what India is doing right now is that India is just positioning itself and diversifying all these things so that its demand is not concentrated in one particular area, dependent on one particular country. So because uranium supply is controlled by very few countries, which means any country scaling nuclear power must secure access across multiple suppliers, right? And this is why India will not stop at Canada and Kazakhstan alone. Right now it is Russia, Canada, and Kazakhstan. Three countries provide uranium to India. So my take is this. I think that India will actually go and sign a deal with Namibia and Niger as well, okay, for future supply diversification to reduce the supply disruption risk, political pressure, over dependence, and all those good stuff. Whatever is happening in Strait of Hormuz, right? So you can see that. So India has to do the same thing for uranium as well. So we may, from after Kazakhstan, I think that we will see Namibia and Niger deal as well on the pipeline. So India's strategy at this point is very simple: that lock uranium globally, scale nuclear domestically, transition to self-sustaining fuel cycle later. Because until fast breeder reactors scale and thorium becomes optional or operational, sorry, India is not buying uranium. It is securing its place inside a global energy choke point. And once the thorium reactor is operational, guess what? There will be no choke point. Why? Because thorium is pretty much all over the world, and India has the third or fourth largest thorium deposit. Okay. So, and India's fast breeder reactor is a very unique tech as well, because it uses uranium and all, but then you can actually scale it horizontally, meaning that you can add another reactor to it. And you can just simply build another thorium reactor right next to it, and there you go. Okay, so this is it for this video, guys. Please do like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video, learned something, and please do like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys in another video. Take care.